Hey folks, this is Chris Crazyhouse, and today I want to talk about a story that I saw online about these Twitter Puritans again and their phony, ridiculous outrage over how an artist or a cartoonist decides to portray women's body types in an animated film. I mean, usually they just complain about comic books or video games, but I guess actual films are not immune to scrutiny from these buffoons as well. So first off, before I even get to that, let me just say that if you like my commentaries and you like my art videos, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel and make sure you like the channel and keep up to date with the notifications as well. I will be doing a Patreon, or I will be launching my Patreon very soon, so you definitely want to make sure you keep up with me here on YouTube. But I will also post my other social media links in the description box, so that includes Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and my Amazon page, so that way you guys can keep track of everything that I talk about here. And anytime I make an announcement or post some new artwork or animation, you're always able to see it on those social media platforms. I'll probably be launching a TikTok as well, but that probably won't be until the springtime. Okay, so anyway, moving forward here with this story. So the film that is getting all the attacks on Twitter is actually a short film produced by Disney Animation. It's called Inner Workings. And the peculiar thing about the attack on this film is that the film is old. It came out in 2016. I believe it was a short film released at the beginning of the animated film Moana. So, you know, sometimes they like to post little cartoons or little short cartoons at the beginning of major releases. And so Inner Workings, I think, was packaged with Moana. And it was done by the Disney Animation Studio. So I know some people get confused by this, but yes, it's 3D animated, but this was not done by Pixar. Okay, I know that's confusing. Pixar is actually a company unto itself. It's a company under the Disney umbrella. The same way like Lucasfilm and Marvel Films and everything else. Okay, a lot of people get confused by that because they see the Disney logo in front of Pixar, but you know, Pixar was a small independent company and Disney bought it because they liked the technology and the work that they were doing. So, and this animated film Inner Workings is not done by Pixar. I know it's 3D animated, but you know, like I said, some people get confused by that. So, you know, anyway, the short Inner Workings is about a little worker man who works at like a computer company or something like that. I don't know what he sells. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've actually seen it myself. But a little man working on his computer, and then like he leaves out, goes out into the world and looks around, and you can see, like, based on whatever he's experiencing in this world, because his life is so dull sitting at this company and working behind this computer, you know, when he goes out to experience the world in and of itself, it shows his inner workings. So like his brain, his heart, you can see like his stomach and stuff like that all becomes, you know, anthropomorphic, and you can see his organs and stuff reacting to whatever he's experiencing on the outside. So the issue that people seem to have on Twitter is that how women's bodies are portrayed, most specifically this redhead character. I don't know what her name is. I don't know if she even has a name, but this redhead character, because she has a slim waist and a wide hips. Okay, so this is the big problem. And you know, they do the classic thing, the classic joke, where are her organs? I even saw one numbskull ask, where are her elbows? Because the way these characters are drawn, they just have very lanky arms. And you know, it amazes me in a world where you have people who claim to be so liberal and so understanding and so in tune with the world around them, just how completely and thoroughly ignorant they actually are to the world around them. The fact that they would even complain about this You know, first of all, the fact that it's an old film and they're complaining about it now, but also just complaining that it shows that they don't have any understanding of how art works, especially how cartoons work. All cartoons are overtly and overly deformed type characters. That's just how a lot of cartoons are done. That's just how cartoons have been since the beginning of time, especially when it comes to drawing people. They've always drawn them super deformed or whatever, right? And if you look at the actual main character himself, he's deformed. He has a and that's the purpose of the story. He has a square head, square ears, a square nose. His body is squared off. And if you look at the place where he works and all the computer people behind him, they're all square as well. They're all behind a computer. So that's part of the art that's trying, and the message is trying to convey to you in the film of where this guy is. He's living in a world where everything is kind of squared off. And you notice when he goes out into the world around him, he meets all these different people, and they all have different rounded body types. Because the men are rounded off too. See, that's the thing. This is why I always call BS on the criticisms that these fools give, because they'll just look at the women and say, oh, why are the women shaped like this, without mentioning the fact that the men have wide upper bodies and big arms or whatever, or broad chests. So they never talk about that. A man character or male characters can be super deformed all you want, but if a female is deformed in any way, and because you personally have sexual thoughts about that character, then there's something wrong with the way the cartoon is made. It's not your fault for being a pervert and thinking perverted thoughts about an animated character that's not real. It's just a bunch of generated pixels or just a few drawings on the computer somewhere, and you're sexualizing it. It's not the artist's fault. It's your fault. So if you want to see things that way, and then like I said, one person brings it up, and then a whole bunch of other idiots get in there and they have a big powwow, and to the point where it makes it to the online news circuit, and then people start bringing it up as if it's an actual problem, where it's not. The fact that these people have nothing better to do than to sit around and complain about something they saw on a film from 4 years ago. You know, I know the quarantines and the things being cut off, like the curfews and everything, and you just have so much time on your hands and you're in the house. Find something else to do with yourself other than complaining about old cartoons, okay? And ruining it for other people, because that's all you're really doing. Just being the jerk at the party, or the person who pees in the punch bowl. You don't have to do that. You know, things are made for people's enjoyment, and you come there to ruin it. If you don't like it, just don't watch it. There's really nothing to complain about. I mean, and all these characters are super deformed. Like, their noses are big, their bodies are all weird. Like I said, it's not just put on one character. And when idiots ask where are their organs, like I said, they're cartoon characters. They're not supposed to have perfect anatomy. And like I said, the way that their bodies are drawn or shaped is a way to convey the story. It's showing that the main character, who's kind of boring and dealing with this very, cubicle lifestyle, he's shaped like a cube himself. He's shaped like a computer himself. So when he goes out in the real world, he sees all these other people and their bodies are lanky or rounded or have curves, and it's different from his. That's the whole point of the short. But like I said, when you have your head stuck up your own rear end, I want to ask some of these fools where their head is, or where their anatomy is. Like I said, their heads are stuck up their behinds when they're sitting back and complaining about cartoon characters. And people always talk about, why do I always bring this up? So I brought it up even on my Facebook. I even had some idiots come on there and say, oh, this is just Disney being perverted. You see, they always put perverted stuff in their cartoons. And I was like, no, that's really not what it is. It's just how they draw these characters. Because they tried to bring up the character of Miss Incredible or Elastigirl from the Incredibles movies, because she has a big butt. Even though that also was commentary, the fact that she was looking at her backside and showed that she had gained weight and she didn't actually like having that shape. That was the whole point. The whole point of that movie, the first Incredibles anyway, was about people and people getting to middle age and getting old and not being the same person they were and having the same dreams and ambitions that they had when they were younger. That was the whole purpose of the first Incredibles. But like I said, the symbolism of this stuff goes over people's heads. And like I said, they have dirty thoughts about cartoon characters for some strange reason. You know, I can understand if it was hentai or what's the other thing called, ecchi or whatever, but that's not what it is, and that's not what the plot or the theme of the story was. If you thought that's what it was about, it went completely over your head. So, you know, that's all I wanted to talk about, folks, is just how moronic some of these fools are. I deal with this a lot, or at least I used to with my coloring books, because that's one of the reasons I bring it up, is because I deal with this type of nonsense as well, where people make it seem like I was being a pervert when I made my naturally cute girls. Like you looked at it and you sexualized the character. I didn't sexualize anything. That's all in your head. I was just drawing cute cartoon characters and trying to do something different than what was already out there and what was already popular. I wanted to do something different than what they have with Bratz and Monster High. I was trying to do something that was kind of like that, but different. But that went over people's heads and they had a hissy fit, or some people anyway, not a lot. But it only takes a small amount of idiots to get the ball rolling. And more people will listen to negative views and negative criticisms than they will listen to the positive. Because usually positive people don't get in an uproar or, you know, make a big stink about certain things. It's only the negative people that have the big megaphone, and they'll spread their negativity around faster because they're more determined to be assholes, and they'll spread that around faster than someone who has a positive view about something. So anyway, I mean, you guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. I would very much like to hear your opinions on this as well. And you've seen the pictures here. Like I said, it's an animated short. It's not that big of a deal. Okay? And it's definitely not meant to offend or sexualize women. Like I said, if you watch the short or just look at these designs, you don't even have to watch it. Just look at the designs. You can get the point of what the artist was going for. But like I said, some people, they're just so dumb and so on the short bus, they don't want to get it. They want to nitpick and be upset about something. They're at home, they're either jobless or not going to school, not doing anything with their lives. They can't create anything of their own, so they got to complain about something to get through the day. You guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. Anyway, Chris Crazyhouse signing out. Peace.